Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna and this is For Pause in a Book. I make book and lifestyle related content, so if that's something that you're interested in, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. Today I'm going to be talking about some incomplete series that I need to finish. Okay, so when I first started on BookTube, I read mostly contemporary, and because of that, I read mostly standalones, and I didn't have a lot of series. And now that I've kind of got more into fantasy and sci-fi, and now that contemporaries, especially contemporary romances, are kind of doing this series type thing where they're more companions, I have series that I'm not done with, that I am stuck in the middle of. And so we're gonna talk about that one. I think I have 17 series here that some of I only need to read one more book. That's it. But yeah, we're gonna talk about everything that is on here that is either out, like the book is already out, the second one or the next one in the series, or I have an arc for it. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so the first one is easy, and I'm giving myself a grace period because it's literally the last book that I finished. And I need to continue on with Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. This is the second book in the Infernal Devices. I just finished Clockwork Angel and really enjoyed it, so I am excited to continue on in the series. Probably won't happen this month because I have other reading plans, but you will definitely see this on a TBR before the end of the year. Let's talk about some graphic novels. I have really learned to love graphic novels over the past couple of years, but that means that there are a lot of them, and they're longer series. So, start with the one that I have physically, and that is Heartstopper. I have read the first 2 volumes, but there are 2 more that I need to pick up. The problem is with Heartstopper is that they're not on Hoopla. It's the one graphic novel that's not on Hoopla, so I kind of have to purchase them, which is fine, I will. I just have to kind of do it a little bit slowly, because they're a little bit expensive, so I will get to them. Then we have Paper Girls. I have read the first 2 volumes, and while this is one of the weirdest graphic novels I've ever read, it's also not bad. I'm intrigued. I am excited to continue on, even though it's weird and I have no idea what's going on. I'm excited to figure it out. Then we have Check Please. I have finished the first volume, and I only gave it 3 stars, and it took me a really long time to get into, but I've heard really good things about volume 2. So I do want to continue that one. There were people that didn't really love the first one, but then gave the second one 5 stars, so I am definitely hopeful for it. Scribd has that one, I think. I'm not sure about Hoopla, but we'll see. It'll definitely make a TBR by the end of the year, because it's just it's one graphic novel and then I'm done. I can check that one off. All right, and the last graphic novel series that I'm still in the middle of is Saga. I have finished the second volume. I think I finished the second volume. And kind of like Paper Girls, it's a sci-fi graphic novel, and so I'm completely lost. It is actually the same author, or the same collab team, maybe. There are people that cross over. So I get why I'm confused, but the story is so complex and so kind of convoluted, and that's kind of why I'm getting lost. But again, I'm really intrigued about it, and this one is very otherworldly because it's sci-fi that takes place on a completely other planet with alien races, whereas Paper Girls takes place on Earth, and it's very Stranger Things-esque. So they're 2 very different vibes, very different aesthetics, but I'm enjoying them, and I'm intrigued to continue on. The thing with the Saga, though, is I think there's 9 volumes, so I have quite a bit of a ways to go to complete that series. That could potentially be, maybe I could do a reading vlog of a weekend of, catching up on graphic novels. Would you like to see that? Let me know. And now this one is, I'm semi-caught up on it because technically the book has not come out yet. I just have an arc for it. It comes out in November, so I have an arc for the second book of A Song of Rites and Ruin, which is a song of psalms and silence. The cover, just take a look at this. I love it. Very excited to pick this one up because I really enjoyed this book. It wasn't a favorite book of all time, but I'm really excited to see where the author goes in the second book, and excited to pick it up. This one's a little bit of a stretch, and I actually don't have a physical copy of it up here, but I do need to finish The Handmaid's Tale, which the second book is The Testaments, and I've heard some really good things about it. I'm curious because obviously, like, it's definitely kind of tracked off from where the TV show is, or the TV show has kind of veered away from the book. They're doing their own things. It's cool. So because of that, I feel like it's going to definitely do things that are different. I actually really enjoyed The Handmaid's Tale. I know that's a very, like, controversial opinion, but I really enjoyed reading it. I thought that the writing style was very fast. So even though The Testaments is a huge, chunky book, I feel like I'd be able to get through it pretty fast. The rest of these are not in any particular order. I tried to do the graphic novels first, and then, like, the ones that I didn't have a physical copy of. Now I just have a stack of books over here that we're just gonna go with. Okay, so I have the second book, In a Darker Shade of Magic. I read A Darker Shade of Magic last year and, like, enjoyed it. I liked it. I think I gave it 3.5 stars. But, like, I wasn't intrigued to pick up the second book immediately, and I'm still not. I will eventually because I love V.E. Schwab's writing, but I'm not there yet. So back on the shelf it goes, but I'm not, like, unhauling that. I want to get to it eventually. The problem is I can't find an audiobook for it. And another book that I'm still kind of unsure about completing, but I'm putting it on this series because I'm not completely ready to write off the whole series, and that's Wondersmith. This is the second book in the like, Nevermore Chronicles, Nevermore series. This is a middle grade fantasy that is about this girl who is supposed to be killed, and then she gets this because, like, she's the curse of the town or something like that. And then this is just kind of her continuing that series, I think, at the magic school. Yeah, join the mystical and prestigious Wondrous Society. So I don't know about this one yet, but we're not writing it off yet. Book that I am super excited to pick up, and that is Untouchable by Talia Hibbert. This is the second book in the Ravenswood trilogy. There's 3 full-length books, and then the novella. I've read the first one, and then the novella. So now I just have 2 and 3 to pick up. Very excited to pick this one up. I loved A Girl Like Her. Made one of my top books of 2020, and I'm super excited to continue on this in the series. Obviously, you know, like, Talia Hibbert and me, like, it will be 5 stars. I have the second book of The Good Luck Girls by Charlotte Nicole Davis. This book actually just came out this past week. The second book is called The Sisters of Reckoning. It's up there. Not a fan of the cover, honestly. I was kind of hoping we would get something more like this so that they would kind of match. But yeah, this is a Western dystopian kind of thing, about a couple of girls who escape essentially a brothel and kind of go off onto an adventure and try to remove the markings that are on her, because that's what makes her cursed. I have the last book of this series. This is the I don't know what the series is called, but we have The Right Swipe, and then Girl Gone Viral, and then Love at First Light, which is the third one. And I've had this on a TBR literally all year long. I have the audiobook for it, and I just, for some reason, have not picked it up, but it is definitely one that I still want to. Okay, we have the second book in the Library of the Unwritten by A.J. Hackworth. The second book is called The Archive of the Forgotten, and this is about it's a continuation of what happened at the very end of this book, which, so I can't really talk to you about that. But basically, the Library of the Unwritten is about this, like, wing of hell, or this little space in hell where all stories go to die. So if a author dies, or if the story just never gets written, that story goes to hell, and in this little library in hell. And as part of this book, one of the characters escapes, so they have to kind of go after it. And this one was really good, and the epilogue immediately sets up the second book, so I can't really talk about that because I don't want to spoil anything, but I highly recommend this book for you. Okay, this is one that I've read out of order, and that is the Intercepted, it's called the Playbook series. So I've read Intercepted and Blitzed, which is book 1 and book 3. This is book 2, and then we have book 4, which is Snapped, and I haven't read those 2, so oops. We'll see when this happens. Football season's about to start. Technically, preseason has started, so, like, I'm gonna be in the mood for these. Maybe come September we start picking some of these up. Alright, another series that I'm not 100% sure on yet, but that is Lair of Dreams by Libba Bray. This is the second book in the Diviners series, and I only kind of sort of liked the Diviners, and I'm hesitant because I heard such poor things about King of Crows. That doesn't sound right. Whatever the fourth book is, I think that's right. I heard really mixed reviews about it, and I don't know that I want to go through 3 more books if I know that the ending is going to be disappointing. So let me know if I should continue this one or not. Alright, I got 2 more. The first one is the second book in the Final 6 series by Alexandra Monier. This is a young adult sci-fi about climate change, and about these 6 teenagers that have to go up into space and basically create a habitat on one of Jupiter's moons, which seems like a weird premise, because why would we take the teenagers up? But essentially they can't, that's their last hope, and Earth is dying, so we have to rely on these 6 teenagers. So that makes sense, right? But there is a second book called The Life Below. I'll put the cover up there. It's a beautiful cover. Love it. And so, yeah, the audiobook for it is on Scribd, and it's super short, so might be one that I pick up sooner rather than later, even though it's not necessarily on a TBR. We might just get it out of the way. And again, call it finished. All right, and then the last one is the behemoth that 3 of you will care about. Maybe 3 of you. I need to finish the Pillars of the Earth series. This is the last one. I read the first 2 of them, but they are 1,000-page books, and yes, I did have a puppy chew up the corner of it, but the inside of it's still fine. This, I don't even know what this is about. It's historical fiction, which is not normally my go-to, but I did really enjoy the first 2 books, so we'll see. I do have it on audio. We'll see. Those are my incomplete series as far as books that have already come out, or I have an arc for. So let me know down in the comments below if there is a series that you are not finished yet, or if there's a reason why you're holding off on a series. And if you're not feeling chatty, go ahead and put an astronaut emoji or something like that, because we just talked about, teenagers in space. So, and there's a lot of sci-fi on here. So hopefully eventually I get into some sci-fi. Thank you all for watching. If you are new here and you have not yet subscribed, there's a little red button that you can do so down below the video, and all of the other links to my social media will be in the description below if you would like to be my friend on any other platform. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.